Welcome to the Portfolios section. Here you can see all your portfolios or buy boxes that you've set, all the deals in each portfolio, the deal stage they are in, and the projected returns. The most important area in this section is to set your default buy box assumptions for each buy box you want in Honeycomb. Every property that hits our system will be matched to your buy boxes and have the return assumptions applied with Honeycomb's automated underwriting. There are many different views or filtering for one analyzed data. Now, to set or change buy box assumptions, hover to the top right and either add a new portfolio or click an existing portfolio to edit existing portfolio's default assumptions. Once in, you'll see there are many assumptions to tweak. Let's start with the general section. Here you can edit naming, adjust which Honeycomb inventory channels you want to see, and pick markets. There are a few different inventory channels to see, such as MLS and marketplaces. Please note, in some cases, it may make sense to pick one market per buy box, depending on which assumptions you want to see. If you need help, you can always reach out to your Honeycomb advisor. Next is the buy box section, where you set default filters for property characteristics and return assumptions. These filters apply to the inventory in the sourcing channels and are the starting point for seeing the inventory that fits what you're looking for. You can filter on various criteria for property characteristics. On the right, you can set desired return ranges or minimums for all the return metrics generated by our dynamic cash flow modeling returns. Entry and exit assumptions define specific assumptions that may impact your acquisition cost basis, your hold period, and how your exit return is generated. For fields like the acquisition cost method, you have the option of being really simplistic or very detailed in how the system calculates this metric. Revenue. Here you will define all the metrics that drive the top line. As with much of Honeycomb, you can be simplistic or detailed in how metrics are calculated. For instance, rent growth can be a single metric for all years during the hold period, or you can specify each year's growth rate. Same with other income, where you can specify each item that brings in other income revenue. The rent roll section is where you will set the default parameters leasing and turnover, such as the average assumed lease term, average lease concession, average turnover cost, and renewal probability. These parameters play a large part in how revenue is modeled a property and ultimately a portfolio. Expenses, these will be the costs associated with running a property. Honeycomb offers two expense methods. First is a simple expense ratio. This can be a good choice for someone that wants to easily filter out properties based on a simple ratio and then drill down in underwriting. The second option is itemizing the expenses. In Honeycomb, you can customize your controllable and uncontrollable expenses to make them as detailed as you'd like. There's a large menu of expenses. You can pick one on top of the standard items. The expenses cover both single-family and multifamily. The taxes parameters are utilized in the platform's initial valuation. Users may elect to supply their own assumptions to determine the year one real estate taxes utilized in the valuation, or leverage the platform's data pulled from each county's tax assessor. There are a few toggles here to align assessed value, the effective rate of taxes, and how property tax growth is modeled. Moving on to CapEx. Capital expenses are the larger, less frequent costs that improve the property or extend its useful life. These are typically major replacements or renovations. In Honeycomb, you can set default costs by bedrooms, input how long renovations on average take, as well as add in other capital projects or project fee and costs if you want to keep track of them as part of underwriting. The financing section allows the user to customize the debt you place on your property/portfolio. You have many options to customize how your debt is sized and the various terms that go with it. You can also enable the refinance scenario if you plan on refinancing the property during your hold period. Waterfall. If you are splitting profits among partners in a transaction, then this section is for you. You can customize your waterfall and hurdles here. Rent comp filters. While Honeycomb has default methodology for how rental comps are determined, we also allow the user to bring their own methodology. In this section, you can tweak many factors which will determine what comps are used to determine automated valuation for your specific buy box or portfolio.